Hi, this is the third video in the lab on how to access your and set up your website. The first was how to get FileZilla set up. The second was how to actually create the file structure and build your web pages. In this final video, we're going to take a look at how do we now actually get these files from our local computer up into our web space so that we can look at it on a web browser and share it with anybody and everybody. If you recall, here is where our files are on our computer. Here's my folder on my desktop. Another way of looking at it, here's that same folder. We have our exercises folder. The case studies folder is in it. Within the main folder, we have the index file that's our home page. Within the exercises folder, we have its main page, which is also indexed, and they all link and work together. But right now, they are all just on my computer. So this is where FileZilla comes in. So in this video, I'm assuming you've already downloaded FileZilla, that you've connected, you've made sure that it works. So I'm going to open up FileZilla. Here I am. This is on the left-hand side is going to be my local files. This is also can serve as my local files, and I'll show you a couple of ways in which we can upload things. So back at FileZilla, I'm going to go up to the Site Manager, which hopefully is what you've set up. It's quicker than using the Quick Connect because this means you have to type it in every time. So I'm going to go here. I have this set up as my login. So all my login information, I'm going to click Connect. Here it is going in and connecting and telling me that I'm there. Seeing this little slash up here and this little folder indicates that I'm actually at my web space. By default, there is this little CGI bin and a file that's .ftp quota. We ignore these, but don't delete them. They're fine where they are. So now we need to move our files out to our web space. Now there's a couple of ways in which we can do that. And this is where the two sides come in really handy. So the first one is on the left-hand side, it's our local computer. So you can see in my case, because I'm using a Mac, it says users, Isaacson K, and then it tells me where my files are actually located. So the same thing would be the case if you're on a Windows machine where it's going to have like the C directory and then the file location. I know in this particular case, I saved my folders out to my desktop. So I need to go find my desktop. I'm going to scroll up here a bit and close that. And there is where it says desktop. I'm going to close that up a bit since I found it. So it's right here. And this shows me the folders that are on my desktop. And because you can see on the screen, here's this folder that says it's on my desktop. It's this folder right here over on the right-hand side and some of the other files that I have. Don't worry about these little files with the dots in front of them. They're kind of, a funky ghosted file that Macs tend to do. If you're on a PC, you're not going to see these. So I'm not going to just drag my whole folder over. I'll show you what happens if I do. So if I just drag this whole folder over, see, here it's going. It's telling me that it's moving stuff. You can see it along the bottom that it's updating. It's telling me that I've had 5 successful transfers, and there's my folder. So let's go out to my web space, and in this case, because this is my test folder, I'm going to open a new tab because this is my local files. You can tell it's local because it's got this long address that says, again, this is on a Mac, it'll say files, volume, and it gives you the address of where you are. On a PC, it'll give you the drive letter and then the files where it's at. So out here, I'm going to go to my web space. And this one is Isaacson ICT 375.stoutmartech.com. And it's telling me that it's forbidden. It's forbidden because there's no index file here. And because there's no index file here, it doesn't know what to do. But if I go in and type the name of my folder, and I gotta go look that up again real quick, it's this ICT 375 web file. So I'm going to put a / here, go ICT, and see if there's a space. Okay, 375 web files. And now there it is. So you'll notice it's not at what's called the root. It should just be, I should be able to type isaacson-ict375.stoutmartech.com. So the same would be your username.stoutmartech.com should take you to your homepage. But I had to type all this extra stuff in. This is why we don't drag that whole folder. So I'm going to go back to FileZilla, and where this folder is at, I'm going to right click on it and get this menu, and I'm going to delete it. It's going to ask me if I really want to delete it. Yes, I do. So it's not going to tell me that it's getting rid of stuff. Now it's empty again. Notice my files are still on my local computer, and I'm going to go and double click on this and open it up. There's my exercises folder, and there's my index. So now if I drag just this index over, there it's uploading it, there's my index file. I'm going to go back to my web browser, and I'm going to leave this front stuff here, but I'm going to delete the stuff that had that folder because I got rid of the folder. And now if I hit return, there it is. Here it is at the root of my site. It's automatically looking for /index.html. So you're going to see it's the same thing with or without the index. This is how web pages work and why you don't have to type that in. But I haven't uploaded anything else. So if I click exercises, it's going to tell me I have an internal server error because it can't find this file and this folder. I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to go over to FileZilla again, and I'm going to show you some other ways that we can upload this file. So the last time I just dragged and dropped index over. The other is I can click on, say, exercises, and I can right click on it and click upload. And it's working on it. It's got it transferred. There is my exercises folder. So over here I can see I have index. I can double click on exercises. There's my case studies folder. There is my index file. Within exercises. So you can see up at the top where it says exercises and know that it's inside. If I want to go back to my root directory, I just need to double click on this folder up here, and now I can see where it's at again. Now if I go out to my web browser, I need to click refresh because that goes out to the server and pulls any new information. So now if I click exercises, I'm on my exercises page. You can see here is the domain name that I have. It's looking in the exercises folder, and it's in the index. This should look really familiar to you because this is the same file structure. All a web address is it's telling us where the files are located on a server. So this is my web space. This is that root folder. This replaces the root folder. I'm going to pull up my Finder here. So in my website, if I'm out on my browser and it's looking at my web space, this isaacson-ict375.stoutmartech.com replaces this folder. That's why I don't need it. It's serving that same purpose. So I just need to load the stuff that's inside of it into my folder on FileZilla. I'm going to show you one more way in which you can move files. Because I don't need it, I'm going to go ahead and right click on exercises, and I'm going to click delete. It's going to ask me just like before if I want to delete that. I'm going to delete it. It's now gone. And I'm going to pull up my Finder and find my exercises folder on my desktop. And I'm going to position this so I can kind of see both of them. So I'm just going to drag, I'm going to make this a little smaller here. I'm going to drag this exercises folder into the right side of FileZilla and just drop it. That works. I can't move files back out to my folder that way. So for example, I can't do this. It won't work. You can see it's not, it looks like it's dragging it, but it doesn't work. If I need to update something backwards to my local computer, I need to right click on it and click download. And if I click download, it's going to tell me, hey, that file already exists. Do you want to overwrite it? Now be very careful because you're overwriting your files And so if something's not as up to date, you might cause yourself some rework. So here we are. It says overwrite. You can always use this action. I actually don't, because I'm really paranoid and I like to confirm that yes, I do want to overwrite these files. So you can also click apply to current queue, which just means the files that you're downloading. So I'll just click that and I'm going to click OK. And what it's doing is just overwriting these files here. And that doesn't make any difference, but you'll notice that it's still here. So this is the different ways that we can upload our files. You'll see it's just a combination of folders and files. That's what makes up your website. So hopefully this is helpful and you understand, and you'll be able to share your website, because now this is out on a web server and anybody can see it once you have it there.